All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're breaking down something really critical for high-performing founders: how to close that gap between your external success and your internal truth. Look, if you're out there building something amazing, but deep down it feels like you're just playing a part, then you need to hear this. So let's just dive right in with a question that really gets to the heart of it. For all you high achievers out there, despite all the wins, the funding, the growth, does something just feel off? You know, a little misaligned? That feeling like your public brand is kind of running ahead of who you really are inside? And look, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill imposter syndrome. No, this is a real, tangible drag on your authority. It's a friction that's actually slowing you down. We're going to give it a name, and it's a powerful one: the contradiction tax. And believe me, it has a very real cost. Okay, so what is this tax exactly? Think of it as the silent killer of brand authority. It's that friction you feel every single time your actions, your big decisions, your public story just don't sync up with the leader you know you're becoming. Here's another way to think about it. It's a tax on your potential, and it gets paid in the currency of hesitation, confusion, and total burnout. You're paying this tax every single time you put off becoming the person and the leader you are absolutely meant to be. And getting free from this tax, it's not some big, loud, dramatic moment. It's actually a quiet moment of just total honesty. It's the moment your narrative and your reality finally click into place. Now that is true alignment. Okay, and I want to be really clear here. This is not some soft, fluffy, emotional idea. We're going to analyze a specific micro-story from our source material, not just as a nice little anecdote, but as what it really is: a hard data point for change. We're calling it the mirror reflection. So the first piece of data, it's not going to show up on a spreadsheet. It's a feeling. You can think of it like a system glitch in your own personal operating system. That quiet restlessness, that's the alert. It's telling you, hey, your current story is no longer compatible with your actual potential. So in that reflection, the narrator doesn't see a stranger, right? What she sees is the cold, hard, objective truth. The truth of her own postponed trajectory. That is the data staring you right in the face, showing you the real cost of waiting. This is that moment when the internal truth becomes just too real to ignore anymore. And here's the crucial point. This isn't about some massive transformation, like becoming a totally new person. It's about finally recognizing and accepting the truth of the person you have been becoming this whole time. It's an upgrade, not a complete reinvention. Okay, now this slide is really interesting because it lays out the core strategic shift we're talking about. Over on the left, you've got this identity built on approval. It's fragile. It's always looking for permission. But on the right, you have one built on alignment, and that is resilient. It gives its own direction, and it just unleashes potential. This, right here, is the shift from just performing to having real, genuine authority. All right, so if you've recognized that tax in your own life, if you've seen that data point staring back at you, how do you actually execute the shift? Let's get into the solution: a clear, repeatable framework to build the next phase of your brand. We've got to reframe this whole thing. Writing your story? That's not some soft skill you do in a journal. No, it is a core leadership function. It's the primary architectural act for building a resilient, future-proof business identity, one that can actually carry the weight of your real mission. So, the Becoming Narrative Protocol. It's a simple 3-step process to basically hard code this alignment into your day-to-day reality. Step 1, you recognize that shift as data. You treat that feeling of restlessness like an actionable insight. Second, you document it with precision. Who are you becoming? Define it. And then third, you execute. You let that new aligned story become the compass for every single strategic move you make from here on out. And the end state of this whole protocol? It's that seamless integration we've been talking about. The whole goal is to engineer a point of zero friction between who you are on the inside and what you express on the outside. That's when your brand becomes this honest, direct reflection of your true authority. So, what's the bottom line here? The crucial takeaway is this: you absolutely cannot lead a high-level mission if your personal story is still stuck in the past, seeking approval. Your brand authority is a direct result of your personal alignment. It's that simple. And that becoming narrative? It's not just a nice story. It is your single most important strategic asset for whatever comes next.
So, we're going to end with this final thought. It's a strategic question that really only you can answer for your business and, frankly, for your life. That contradiction tax, it's getting calculated every single day. So, the real question is, who are you becoming and what is it costing you to wait?
Look, when you're ready to stop paying that tax and start building with real, true authority, this is the definitive next step. It's time to finally close that gap between your potential and your execution. Go ahead and check the link to get started.